Welcome here, everyone. We're excited to be underway with our matchup here today for the Indiana Esports Network. We are going to be doing some Super Smash Bros. Ultimate action. I know we're running a little bit behind, so we will be diving right into the action today. We currently have the ever so lovely. It is going to be Franklin Central High School going up against Michigan City High School. Both teams in the quarterfinals of the AAA playoffs. My name is Ordo. With me is Cherry J, and we will be your casters. Cherry, how you doing?
I'm doing great. As you said, a little bit behind. However, both these teams ready and right for action. This is, as you said, Michelin Center as the number 2 seed. So they're coming in as that underdog, taking on the number 2 team in that matchup in the quarterfinals. So this is very late. This is a very late term matchup. Winner of this goes on to the semifinals, and that certainly is where it comes down to it. Now, I want to get your opinion there because we've seen both these teams kind of show something when it comes to being like a little bit late. Well, at least we have. We've been showing that. So I want to get your thoughts. Do you think that this like kind of late start potentially getting on the nerves of the players? Maybe they get a little bit anxious coming into this, or how do you expect this game to go?
I think it's going to be fine. Honestly, we already, I believe, have a couple knockouts, so let's go ahead, try and swing over to the game itself. Once we're loaded in, we will see how Franklin Central, as well as Michigan City, will go ahead and fight things out. I also want to give a big shout out to LOS Portal, as well as Zotac Gaming and Landfest. We'll have a little bit of a talk about them in the future, but when it comes to this timing, not too worried about it again. This is just play as best you can in a BO3 crew battle, and I'm sure it will have their moments just as well. I'm excited to also see what characters they'll be playing with us, so here is hoping they are going to be giving us a taste as we do go ahead and hop in. We have a Ridley and a Piranha Plant coming out here. Very, very interesting.
3, 2, 1, go!
Ridley, a little bit of a heavier champion, got a lot of mobility to him. Like, this game has already started potentially. I'm not sure whether or not they're really just getting straight on into the action. Oh, never mind, it does seem like it will be 1 o'clock versus 3 by the top.
Yeah, it looks like there was already a match going forward, so it does mean that Michigan City were already up with 1 win, I believe. So it makes sense. It makes sense here. So hopefully we get to see a nice little play. I believe this is the second player coming out for Franklin Central. They're going to be trying with the Piranha Plant to take this Ridley down a little bit further here in set number 1. Now, a big question, of course, coming out here is Ridley and Piranha Plant. Piranha Plant we see quite often, but the Ridley is one that maybe you're not so used to playing against, so we'll see how well it plays out. Right now, good grabs by the Piranha Plant.
Well, I mean, I know Ridley personally. I've seen it quite a bit in periods I've played in. At least last year was a pretty big character to really stand out. But it definitely is a little bit one of those more highly centralized characters with a lot of belief and skill level where it can find a ton of value. It seems like they're right here with 92 since we found out they were on 1 plus start us off, right? But they instantly be able to really return that value and paying off dividends for them, and maybe they'll find something more, but as of now, they will not have the greatest start on their second stock that they've attempted to take down.
Yep, it's going to be a big test right now, as that's going to be a nice little rolling ball here. The spike ball is huge, but again, for Ridley, you're playing it very, very smartly. You're keeping yourself on the center platform and also going for some of those finishes right now, already taking 4 stocks, looking for a 5th if you can. This is going to be big, though. Challenge with the up B. Able to respond back and get back to center stage. Now, of course, will it work? What a snap, but not the finish because he sent them off to the long way. But, of course, the spike ball will finish it off. Well played, well done here by the Piranha Plant, and you're able to stay alive for the time being. However, still you lose a stock in the in-between, so Franklin Central will have a slight leg up.
Honestly, Orbital, I'm a little bit surprised that Spike Ball was even able to connect. Since, I mean, the Ridley, they were on the edge. They were untargetable, however, it was just a slight inconvenience that took that spike, or that took that spike right on down, and the Ridley definitely not going to be happy with that. However, it just brings it back to an 8-9 score differential. So, we will see the side of Michigan City in a little bit of an advantage. However, it is a small advantage to say the most. It's 8 stocks to 9. This is easily going either player's way, since we do have 2 versus 3. If you can start off with a massive lead, you can definitely find a good game in number 2, bringing yourself to a lead. However, a Kirby will be the response, so certainly an interesting choice to kind of bring us forward.
I think with the Kirby, it's just you play it as you feel like it, and Kirby's can be very, very tricky. But of course, the main thing is that they are light. You're looking for kind of quick, elongated, maybe side-to-side combos here and get the damage down, then maybe end it with a nice offstage carry. But only time we'll really tell how well it plays out here. Piranha Plant has a lot of good hitters, and you can already see Piranha Plant getting a lot of good depth here, already 61% and counting in this position.
Ooh, maybe that was a bit of a mistake. Not correct, and instead it will be Dark Queen. They can do a little bit of a rough spot, however, they will be back on the plant. Ooh, that neutral air is so powerful.
I think a big scary part is, again, this could be a one-tap situation. A little bit of a punch, slide out, good up B, and now a dash. He's going to put an end to the Piranha Plant with 100 still on this Kirby, and it's a huge lead coming out for Michigan. If they're able to kind of continue the strength, you lead in priority with the stock number, and it's only going to continue. Nice little catch, though. Piranha Plant able to get that grab, looking for 134 and then some. Huge fall, but not going to land. Instead, trying to use that just to cover ground. Now 144, it's a single tap, and that Kirby is going to lose that stock, and there it is. Great coverage on the get back.
Oh, instantly going down, wanting to find something, but oh, good grab, not going to be committed. Instead, oh, a grab to get counteracted, and now we do see this Kirby instantly finding so much value. Air tilt again, looking to try and find something with a side B. Oh, and stuck on the edge between a rock and a hard place, and potentially finding some way out, but now it's going to be this Piranha Plant back up and trying to find something.
I think right now it's just fight for survival with this last stock. You're trying to hold on, hold on to center stage as much as possible, but you get run up, grab, an immediate tap with the forward airs. Is it really going to work, though? Is it going to be enough? You can see the Kirby just waiting for a moment. Michigan, they want to move on to the semifinals in good standing. You can get a great start here. That is the way. Very nice back here to go ahead and take it. And it will be Michigan up 2 stocks right now.
I was a little bit confident coming into Michigan's 9 stock versus 8 for this to be going down to the wire. However, Michigan pulling out the Kirby, instantly looking phenomenal with this pickup. And I mean, maybe we can see some switch ups from Franklin Central to try and change it around. But as of now, it definitely seems as if Michigan City High School is leading this game by force.
And if they're able to kind of continue this force out, hey, maybe we can see some benefits. But at the current moment, it is a dub for the Kirby. And I am kind of curious what exactly they are going to be playing next, because the Piranha Plant, right now we're down to the 3rd player for FCHS. And I am curious what their first character was, depending if it was an opener like a Link, or, maybe we're looking at an Isabel or anything like that. You can go with a lot, but when it comes to Franklin, you need this dub. You need a character that is going to be able to really take over and be able to manage a 3 to 4 to 5 possible stocks in a row if you want to come back in this series.
I'm looking forward to this. I think that both of these teams have certainly looked strong, but the question becomes, at 8 to 6, you currently have 2 remaining players for the side of Franklin City. I think that they definitely looked okay when it came down to that Ridley matchup. However, as soon as this Kirby's been pulled out, it looks different. It looks strong, and we will be seeing some switch ups, new characters to be enacted, so they won't be going with anything the same. It's interesting. I think Orbital. I think the Ike is a odd matchup into the Kirby. But that sword is certainly going to be able to get a little bit of extra range comparatively to what you do possess in your arsenal as a Kirby. So I'm liking the potential for it, but I don't know how much value this will get.
Might be able to play off those strengths of just the one-hit wonders, and so far you're trying to do that. Again, Ike has a lot of brutal hits here comparatively to a Kirby's combo game. You can get 1 or 2 hits, and then you can be in that stock range. So see how it plays out at the current moment, though. Both trading blows. Nice down airs, though. Charge up on the smash, but it's not going to work. Neutral airs, bring in the pain. And already we are seeing the Kirby in a struggle. Nice little chance at a spike, not going to land. Get up. Gonna be comfortable, but no platforms to be able to play on, so both challenging up and above. Great grab, though, out of the up B. And this is the Kirby's chance to really be able to fight back, juggling this Ike as much as possible.
Oh, up it. Trying to get something value, being creative with it, but 99 to 99 matching each other. Oh, and it's gonna be the Ike going really aggressive here, not gonna attempt for a downbeat, and Logan will secure it. That's 99% contained, and it will be going up.
I mean, that's a stock, though, again, for the Kirby. You've held on to what you need. You've gotten 3 stocks, and now if you can get another, it makes it even more rough. You're on your second player. Your third is going to have a fantastic time. And for MCHS, you are very, very comfortable with you're currently at. You're covering lows and highs right now. With that up B, both Ike and Kirby have very strong sword up Bs that can cover a lot of ground, also send out a little bit extra damage. Up smash not really going to land there as it's just covering a get up option once more. You can see this Ike trying to challenge, trying to get that last little hit in, get that last stock, but a great grab and an up throw is going to give the platform some extra work. 99%. Is the Kirby going to get it?
Seems like the answer would have to be yes. This Ike has been going up in smokes, downbeat not to connect. However, oh, this Kirby really playing aggressively here. However, this Ike is keep maintaining their ground. Won't be for long. Getting back center stage, and they will keep the aggression up. Neutral air is trying to maintain some distance. However, oh, that might do it. No, it will not. Not just yet. Logan's still in a good spot. However, all right. The air throw coming in aggressively, trying to make something, but oh, hitting him into the air and following up perfectly. That's going to be the Ike to shut down the opposing Kirby.
It took a little bit of time, but it was a very necessary fight, and it's good to see that you're able to maintain your own 2 stocks. It was very close to becoming a 2-stock difference yet again, and that could have been dangerous, I think. But again, when it comes to Ike, as you mentioned, the matchup might be a little bit stiff, but at the end of the day, you got some good blows with the Ike, and now for MCHS, you sit there going, what do we want to send out? We have all the chances in the world. We got our 3rd and 4th player, and it's gonna be comfortable. I think against the Ike, you can play just about anything and do just fine. Yes, whoever was piloting the Ike was very fast and very good moving, but overall the character is relatively slow into just about any matchup. So going with distance or going with a kind of melee speedster might be a call.
I'm looking forward to this. It currently is still going to be Michigan City High School running this, but how long this is going to stay is I mean, this definitely could flip at any moment, because as we know, there's always going to be those last remaining players, those anchors to hold it out. So as soon as we do see the side of Franklin Central, once that remaining player who's currently on 2 stocks does fall, it could be rough. It could be very rough for Michigan City High School to be able to finish this game out. But they will be pulling out the Falco. They want to try and run this hard into the ground, bring themselves into a 6-0 scoreline. But as of now, it definitely could go either player's way.
Let's see what they can do right now. It is going to be that Falco, and Falco, as we mentioned, a little bit faster, but great melee combat stats here. Not only that, can go with the vertical combinations, and we're already going to see it started, especially with the extra platforms here on Town and City. It can get brutal in terms of how quickly that percentage can stack up, and you can see trying to use that laser, trying to buffer that little electric gap there. You're already sitting at about 13, waiting for the setup here if you can, but great usage from the Ike, just trying to cover their own options, making sure the lasers aren't going to force them into dangerous positions, using those neutral airs to kind of clear out their spot, and then getting in close and using that up B, 41% on the Falco.
And just keeps rising. Make it 65. The chances here are going up in smokes, with this almost being equalized at 5-5 in terms of stocks. However, there will be a little bit of pushback, wanting to try and make some kind of change, break up the shield. A little bit of range attacks coming online, however, nothing to really connect.
Let's see what they can do right now. It is a chase in 71 on this Falco, but we know how quickly that percentage can change in their favor. 69, waiting for a little bit more. 70 tag would be great, and the laser not really finding its purchase, both kind of shielding and being prepared for this aggression and missing some of their reactionary opportunities. Nice slash though, so it is going to be that range advantage for the Ike. A little bit of a spike could be possible as well if you get a little bit too close to the edge. That's going to be a forward air to push the Ike further away. And all I can see right now is Boat just kind of tempering. High percentages could be going up. We could be seeing triple digits shortly. Even one more grab, but that's a chase. Not able to find that spike out of the stage.
We will finally be seeing the Falco trying to leverage this lead. However, it will be equalized. A 108%. If you want to play well, you got to start it here. Because 113, this will be easily able to close out. And if not, it could become really rough.
Let's see if they can go a little bit further here. Right now, it is going to be the Ike player just kind of wondering how long can they get away with the stock. Remember, for them, they had to be the ones to try to make a change here, and it looks like they're doing so. Getting a large percentage here, and the Falco looks a little bit lost. Good down air, trying to spike him out, but a falling graceful shot brings the Ike into dangerous position. They will lose their stock. 75% though. You have a chance to even things up as Ike, and if you can, that's the chase! Big hit on the side, chasing out a little bit further on the left side of the screen. It doesn't look like you're going to find it. Perfect parry too. And now a chance turn, but no, you don't follow up on it.
Oh, I mean, even though they've gone to their final stock, they've been working magic this Ike. Being able to put this Falco on one stock down and at 108%, it seems very winnable at this point to even close out this match, despite starting 5 stocks to 6. Oh, we might see a little bit of pushback though, and I'm going to be completely mistaken. 47%, a miracle has kind of come off, but it is a little bit of just to be expected. However, that was a little bit of misplay potentially, maybe just some great shots from the Falco, and that will be the game going over. Now, a great comeback from this Ike to bring him down a lot with 2 stocks down. However, there's still a little bit of an opportunity here. This Falco, they need to at least score 1 stock on FCHS if they really want to just be able to give their final player a little bit of comfort, making sure that this game is winnable. However, you've got to imagine that that last player should be able to clear this game out in no time.
I think that's what they're going to be aiming for, and right now I'll just be curious to see who exactly is going to pick that up and really put themselves in a good position forward at the current moment, though, as we dive into what could be this last stock. I want to give a big shout out again to Zotac. If you see a lot of break plays right now in today's match, go ahead and shout them out on the social medias using the hashtag powered by Zotac or Zotac USA. Zotac Gaming is powering today's stream, and thanks to their incredible support, we're able to bring this broadcast to all of you, helping to showcase the amazing talent in Scholastic Esports. Let's dive into it though. This is FCHS looking to try and take 4 stocks straight to go ahead and clinch out this AAA playoffs quarterfinals series 1.
Immediately though, it won't be easy. It won't be a pushover because we're instantly seeing the Falco from MCHS putting up the work. 36% found, but this bar keeps on rising. Ooh. And 57, they want to try and ledge guard, and they're doing a great job following up on everything, and we go to the bar, going completely all out, looking to make some extra damage before it goes away. However, not much to even be found. This Falco is playing phenomenal SSBU right now. However, they will be called out in the end.
I mean, for the Joker, it just feels like you're not getting any purchase. The IHSEN was popped with almost no chance to actually utilize it. Instead, it was used as a getaway tool, and this Falco looks far more comfortable in this matchup than the one against the Ike. Good power driver into a lit, and the bounce is just so powerful right now. It looks rough, and I think it's only going to continue. That's going to be a great perfect block, though. But the twist, the toss, almost the finish on the stock. And it looks like Falco wants their piece of the pie. They get the grab yet again. Again, not a great toss finish, but that's the catch on the edge. Let's get back by the Joker. Still waiting for that perfect strike. This is 155 on the percentage train.
When it keeps on rising, 159 going to be activated. Almost going to be able to pull something out of the hat, and they will. Potentially, this is where it needs to happen because at 162, 1 stock down is all you need if you are the Falco. But right now, both players trying to play from range, making something happen.
Ooh.
But the shield will get destroyed, and that's gonna do it. Doing their job perfectly. 127. Even if you lose here, it won't matter.
I mean, that was a great turn. You were able to get that that down tilt to go ahead and clip underneath, and the shield was dropped in a little bit of a rough time there, but you can see right now, Tyler, if they're playing the Joker, is looking comfortable in this position, just trying to keep the Falco on the ledge, knows that 160 is perfect stock take percentage. Of course, the Falco is fighting back, and right now, having some of those reset options here could be the main twist. If you get into the mix here, you can see quick taps on the back end. You can try and do some work as well, especially if the Joker gets a little bit overextended, if they get a little bit too excited, and it looks like it is going to be that combo, but what a block to come out here. IHSEN able to save that combination from going any further. Up tilt, back air, following through with a one more hit if you can. And all of a sudden, the Joker is in a really, really bad spot. 183 on this Falco is wild. MCHS want to get one more stock, want to force a 3v1 stock position, uses that last remaining platform to barely stay alive. Chase is out. What is going to happen here? Good grab yet again. Chase to fall in the air. Neither side giving in the final twist in turn. Joker with the grab will finish off that Falco.
That was way too close for comfort, though. 95% arcs and nowhere close to being available. And that was a really good performance there from the Falco. Nothing to discredit them whatsoever. And that may possibly have just sealed the deal. 3 stocks versus 2. This is absolutely absurd. The number 7 seed about to upset the number 2. How on earth would you have predicted this?
I think overall it's just been crazy impactful. That's all I can really say. This team overall has MCHS. They've had so many players really be able to pop out here, namely the Kirby and the Falco. I know the Ridley did work in the earlier stages, was able to take, I think, 4 stocks on their own. But keeping that status quo was usually the hardest part. You know, you always run into that one player. The Ike, specifically for Franklin Central, was really, really good. Was able to steal back, I believe it was a grand total of about 4 or 5 stocks in there, so made it extremely close. But we are winding down to that final position, winding down to that final player. And Franklin Central gotta come out with some pretty good plays, or else things are gonna go a little bit sideways.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. Not wrong at all, because this certainly could go either way. However, we cannot discredit the fact that, I mean, 2 stocks, we've seen it happen before where somebody with 2 stocks was able to take down a 3 stocks player. It's not uncommon into Yoshi to find this last matchup of the first set. Certainly a matchup that, I mean, it could go either way. This is not one-sided whatsoever.
I think no matter what, it comes down to the players themselves to see what they can do here. Yoshi out versus the 2 stocks left on the Joker. And it all comes down to this. Let's see what they can do. MCHS with 3, SCHS with 2, and they're going to dance it right away. Yoshi's great at the floaters, at getting that high percentage very, very quickly, especially if you use that down air in conjunction with the knockup. It is perfect to rack up damage on, you know, a medium weight character like this Joker.
Right now, we do see a little bit of value coming out from the gun, trying to make some extra plays, but then a regression will be found out and it will be equalized. 35-35, bringing it a little bit back, sliding straight on into the Yoshi. However, no pushback will be seen just yet. And we do get to see a little bit of overcoming these obstacles with both players really throwing the kitchen table at each other. There might just be a little bit of extra damage going on in the Yoshi to be equalized. 61% aggression has been found. However, an extra stock to start us off tonight certainly looks promising for this. The side of FCHS has been looking great, but as of now, it's the Yoshi who really needs to come back here, because when you're equalized after that rough of a start, I don't even know. This could go either way.
I think right now it is all about that test, though, as percentage is racking up even further. The Yoshi not exactly having a great time here. 84%. Trying to throw some of those eggs, and right now IHSEN is gone. But look at that dodge. Look at that parry coming out here, being able to break open a space, and the Joker is very, very happy about this one. One hit could be the difference between a stock and a stock back. Great free fall down, as that butt slam is going to do some work, and now both players are chancing for a finish on the stock to give themselves the turn up. Are they going to find it here? Great grab out of the shell. Is it going to be enough, though, as the Joker actually goes off stage by accident, tried to go for that whip, and now gets back here with the Oxen, is the stock finish, and that lead that MCHS had is gone. Absolutely obliterated. One more to go. 118 on the Joker, but they're playing like they have 0.
We saw that Falco last game absolutely annihilating in terms of percentage against this side of FCHS. However, it does not look the same thing. This Joker has been absolutely ruthless when it comes to being able to just dominate and dominate. Right now, though, 30% has been found, looking to try and build up this percentage, build up this bar. However, right now, it might finally be some pushback. Slam comes down onto the floor, and they will get 154 reached, but that might just do it. Never mind. Still in the air, looking to try and get something. Not able to find much yet. Kicking him out. Oh, bomb not to hit, and the shells will just go wide.
I think right now you're just playing with that time 177 and counting, and you know as long as you don't let the stock go by, you can keep chipping away. That's all you really care about. I think as the Joker, you know you have a full stock to play with, so you don't have to go crazy. Now you can go for the confirms if you wish. Right now it's how much damage can you rack up, and it looks like they're getting more and more. That's the finish, up smash to go, and it is the Joker to go ahead and turn things on its head as FCHS pull away with set 1.
That was absolutely insane. Coming back despite being down. And at this point, it really is either team to win. It's gone down to the wire 2 times now, and that's going to be 1-0 lead, putting themselves on match point, looking to make themselves go to the semifinals. However, as we remember, there certainly is no length to either team's arsenal. They all can pull out whatever they want, whenever they want it. We've seen crazy picks and interesting picks, whether or not it was the Kirby, whether or not it was the Ridley. Everything has looked really good. And I think that as of now, I mean, I got to say, going to a third set would not be unheard of.
And that's going to be the kind of fun of it. While we do wait for the teams to get back underway, we want to give a big shout out to LandFest. Thanks to LandFest for building healthy communities through gaming with 23 chapters across 18 states and over 150 events a year. You can go ahead and find an event near you if you want to participate by going to landfest.com. That is LANFEST.com. And go ahead and find an event near you, get started joining the community and maybe some of those chapters. As we head into this one as well, I am also curious what the first player's pick for Franklin Central was. We didn't really get to capture that. All we knew was that Ridley came in, was able to take it with a margin of 1 stock left. So I am curious if that is just going to be a one-way piece, or if we are going to see that same repeat, if we're going to see the Ridley open yet again, or if we're going to see something like the Kirby, like the Falco, and honestly, even the Yoshi. I think Yoshi is a great opener when it comes to variety and being able to adapt.
You're not wrong at all. And I think that that might just be the best way to describe this matchup. However, I want to get your thoughts here, because we saw that Joker certainly put up a performance that could be nonetheless just stated as it was on par with what you would expect as your last remaining player. Do we think they can put up the same performance once more? Because certainly it looked phenomenal in game number 1.
I think they can, especially when it's in a quarterfinals matchup like this. I can fully expect them to continue making their rounds and keep trying to kind of put the best foot forward. Looks like we are going to dive right into it, as well as the Wolves are right back to play. MCHS ready for a little bit of revenge, and once again, as I said, maybe placing some of their more maybe inexperienced players in the front and seeing what they can do there. If we do get to see the Yoshi or the Falco, I wouldn't be upset, but for FCHS, they are on the cusp of taking this one home, and I wonder if you want to put the Joker or the Ike in front. The Ike honestly had some really good brutal moments, and if you start off with a stock lead, hey, that's a huge advantage for you.
I'm not sure. I think that, I mean, we didn't even see the start, I believe, so we're probably going to be seeing different characters than what we originally saw. I'd imagine there might be, I think it was the Ridley. I believe it was the Ridley. I totally could be wrong about this, but I believe that they did win the first game of the first set, so maybe we'll see them coming out. but it really could be either team to pull out something crazy here and bring us to a big lead. Maybe, who knows? I mean, it's also a situation where if you do have like more than 4 players on the roster, you might just want to give them all playing time, put somebody else in, especially if you are on the side of Franklin Central High School, just because of the fact that they did in fact win their first game. So since they are at bare minimum going to a third set, if you want to give everyone playing time, it might possibly be worth it to just put one of those players as that first one in. And all right, Pichu versus the Ridley. Maybe I'm just yapping there when it comes to what the strategy might be, but yeah, it's just gonna be a tried and true with this Ridley coming out. And Pichu, we probably saw them at the start of the last game. Unfortunately, we just did not get to hit it.
Let's see if they can pull it off once again. And remember, this matchup is now on a different stage. Town and City was the stage only. This time around, platforms are a lot more centered. Not only that, you have edges of the main stage to play with. So a lot of little chances here, and we'll see how it pans out. Of course, Pichu starting things off very, very quickly. Quill, I believe, running on their account, looking very, very good at the start here. Remember, Pichu, only drawback is you do actually injure yourself with some of those lightning attacks, but damage output is much higher as we are seeing that piece of the puzzle. 127 with the combination lightning bolt to finish.
Here's where it really comes down to that stage choice, though. You get so much value if you're the Ridley here, but maybe not enough. Down, trying to get back up, no ledge guard in sight. They will just be back on stage, looking to try and get centered. Good stuff coming out from the Ridley here. Pulling out the fire and breathing straight on over into this Pichu. And 150 is being found, but it's going to be difficult to really secure that finisher. Maybe they'll get it here, though, with a good combo coming in and equalizing it 2-2.
Once again, it is that Thunderbolt is huge, and it works very, very well as a 2-piece hitbox. Whenever you get that maximum height, it draws the opponent down, and at a 150, it's the easiest kill confirm that you can get with a Pichu or even a Pikachu. Pikachu's, I believe, is a little bit larger on the scaling and the size of the lightning bolt, so a lot of questions there. But right now, we are seeing that 77% rack up here, so for Quill, you are hoping to get a really, really quick stock in there. Good block to come out as well, and the slam down not going to land for the Ridley, but the Ridley is now going to be chasing. Gets the scrape by on that side B. Is now in great position to take yet another, and we're seeing where this Ridley got their advantage in the previous set.
Oh, Pichu want to do so much effort here, really trying to put this second stock down for the opposing Ridley. As of now, the pushback will be here, trying to follow up, will be able to do it. Guidro down, trying to be able to make some combos happen, able to really connect, but not just able to find that final blow just yet. But 136, it's starting to get up there. And it's a really just question of will they be able to do it before that finisher comes online.
I think they can, but at the current moment, we are going to be taking a short chase off stage here. And off stage is not the place you want it to be. 155 is where you're currently at. For the Ridley, you have a chance to do a little bit better than you did in the opener previously as well. And there's a scrape. Great breakout, though. The button mashing perfect from the Pichu. Quill trying their best to stay alive here, but it's another scrape by, and you ain't mashing out of this one. It is a done deal, as that is the Ridley to take 2 over there for Michigan.
A good start, for sure. Able to maintain 2 stocks going into this last game. It looks very similar to what we saw in set number 1 with this Ridley being able to take it out alive. And the question now becomes, will it be the exact same Piranha Plant to return? I mean, I'd have to go with probably, if that's how this game's been looking so far, but we'll have to just wait and see.
I think at the current moment, it's a chance and a half. Again, one of the big reasons that Franklin, I think, had a good time and a much better time moving into that lower portion of the set is it was only 4 stocks versus 5. We saw how high the percentages could go and what could change. So for the side of Michigan, you are very, very happy with the fact that you are able to take 2, and is going to be that Piranha Plant. Once more, the Piranha Plant had an okay time against the Ridley, but this time around, you had to work your way through 2 to be able to put them down, and then look at the second, which was a Kirby previously. So for Michigan, a lot of things to consider after the Ridley goes down, but for Franklin, who do you send out as your secondary is a big call.
mean, that's a good question. I know I wouldn't be opposed. I might be mixing up my players here, but I think that FCHS has a Kirby they can pull out. Maybe that's on the opposing side though, and that Kirby looks strong, and I think placing that against somebody with such a high ranging hitbox could possibly be the answer that you're looking for. However, it's going to be a Bowser, a relatively new pick. I don't believe we saw it in the first set, so certainly an interesting idea to match. Bowser definitely plays well on Wi-Fi. Lag as well would work well. And maybe it'll provide dividends, but who knows? This is going to be heavy on heavy, looking to try and just scrap it out here.
I think this is a great call. Again, when you take a look at what Michigan loves to run, the heavies are going to get so much more value out of these kind of chip fragments, out of these chips. And not only that, going up against other heavies like the Ike, like the Piranha Plant, this Bowser can do a lot of work and provide a lot more chase down. But right now, it doesn't seem to be holding that well, as that's a spiker and a half. Well done by the Ridley to take a quick stock.
Or the Doge getting absolutely destroyed. However, they're not done yet. They're really dogging it out here, looking to push and bark their way straight on through. But, oh, this Ridley not want to give up just yet. They want to fight it out, and it will be working out in their favor, but not for long. 76 to 75, and both players going for something. Grab comes through. And unfortunately, are the Doge with a little bit of over-aggression maybe getting called out here? And the answer seems to be yes. Amazing ledge guarding leading up to a spike out of the edges.
And right now, this Ridley, after being allowed to play a little bit more in this set, is starting to look like the champion, taking what is 5 stocks so far and still on 2. This could be overwhelming advantages handed over to MCHS. And this could be, as you called, a chance for a series comeback. If they're able to pull it off, if this Bowser goes down, it's going to be horrendous for FCHS. But of course, they can always come back in their own right. So many things to kind of consider here, but the Ridley having a fantastic time. Great back here to create a little bit more space. Bowser not in a great spot, 68%, 158 on the Ridley, still in that position of possibly being taken down, but a chance at a side B not going to land. So that is the belly slam, and it is that stock that MCHS were hanging on to so desperately.
Oh, or the Doge really got to bring it back here. However, 115 might just be too late to even attempt to make a comeback. And oh, the grab comes through once more. Fire raining down and barely able to make themselves back onto the platform. However, it won't lead to much. And oh, this is rough. This is really rough for the side of Are the Doge. They've been brought up to 170 despite being up a stock coming into this. They unfortunately do seem to be falling, but they will not fall easily. 62% being gained. They're trying to go aggressive. Good stuff. Neutral air coming online, and maybe they'll get even more. Maybe even secure the ending, because as we remember, there's been a lot of times this series where we saw impossible comebacks.
Oh. Right now, this impossibility is a problem on either end. Both within kill threat, both have great side Bs, and it's just a side dash. That's all you need, Shine. No KO, though, just yet. You're going to try and follow up 115, 187. Both meet in the center stage, and both collide very heavily. Good read on that stage control. The edge guard is fairly dang strong, but down air. That's going to be a side punch. Are you serious? Are the Doge able to survive with their last stock? Barely at 207.
And that's what I was talking about. Miracles coming out once more. And it's just insane, the fact that they were able to come back and be able to equalize this. Well, I'm not sure about equalize, but at least they've taken it down to 3 remaining players for MCHS Varsity Smash. So FCHS, they're not looking amazing. However, they've certainly been throwing the side of MCHS across the board, and they want to be able to equalize this. And it's going to lead to this Bowser being the one to do it. So maybe they can bring another one off the board. But as of now, you got to be happy with just leading off this well.
It's a huge point of pride for the side of Michigan to be able to kind of fight back here. And now we're kind of curious. Again, we saw a character swap here, but the Ridley once again opened up with a strong presence. 5 stocks on their own. And Michigan you know, you kind of sit there and go, okay, we had a great start, but we also lost our start before, right? You went with the Falco and the Yoshi, both lost multiple stocks, and it just went sideways. So right now, we got to see a really good selection here. I wonder what's going to come out, and you're going to go with the Pikachu. Okay, a little bit of a shakeup here as the Pikachu is going to be utilized to maybe try and match that pacing that we saw the Pichu earlier.
Interesting come out. I mean, definitely gonna be a nice change of pace. So let's see what MC Wolves do have to offer us. Are the Doge? They got one stock, one try to be able to at least take the side of the Wolves down into the gutter and potentially make this a little bit closer. 6 to 8 certainly would not be a bad scoreline to be at. However, you know, 6 to 7 would be even more favorable.
Let's see what they're going to do right now. A little bit of a chase in. A little stab here. And again, this Pikachu, we know how fast Pikachus can be. We know how quickly you can get under control. And looks like it might continue. But at the current moment, Pikachu is also extremely light. You take one too many blows and you lose the stock almost immediately. But right now, the control is in favor of this Pikachu. A little bit of a quick attack back up. And you're going to go off stage with the forward air. And once again, that is the easiest knockback move out there. To go ahead and keep the Bowser off. 122. Good grab by the Bowser to try and fight back. And you want to at least take a stock. If you can take a stock here, that'll be more than enough to kind of get the ball rolling.
Are the Doge trying to get back up on ledge. Ooh, but this Pikachu in a little bit of a rough position. Scuttle comes out, and it will be the side of this Pikachu to really come out on top. And the ledge guarding will be perfect, keeping him off the guard, and that will do it. Instantly weathering the storm and finding a 9 to 6 lead.
And you gotta love it. Huge win right now for the side of MCHS. They were so close to taking set 1, now in set 2, an extensive lead for themselves. And I kind of wonder exactly who is going to come out next. We've had already one character swap. It's the Bowser to come in, so now you got the Ike, now you got the Joker. If anything, I would love to see an Ike come out to play. Yes, it's another heavy hitter, but you can do a lot of work if you're able to kind of land those blows on the Pikachu, especially on Kalos here. Kalos is a stage where it's just all flat ground, not many getaways, and yeah, you are going to send the Ike.
This was a player we did see before, and they certainly did put up a lot of value. But question becomes, will they be able to make the same amount of pressure on their opposition as we saw earlier? Personally, I think the answer is you gotta have to hope so if you are FCHS, but I mean, this Pikachu looked strong. They were able to really clear out that Bowser before anything got desperate.
Let's see what they can do right now. Opening up the center stage, good hits by this Pikachu to start. And again, getting that quick start, being able to rack up that 70-80% and then being able to kind of fire away and use that leverage for the aerials is a huge part of the kit. It looks like you're going to be able to do so, keeping the Ike under control, keeping the Ike at 98 and above, making sure that the percentage is enough to make that Ike fly. It's doing wonders for themselves. And this Ike looks completely lost right now. Michigan City working wonders with some of these character swaps.
Oh, a little bit of range comes out. Trying to play aggressive, and it will be going out in your favor. Oh, this Pikachu, though, really just being swift, dodging out on everything their opposition has to offer, and Logan going a little bit too aggressive, and they will be called out for it in turn. So far, they're only able to connect really one hit, making it a couple. Maybe they will have some pushback, however, they will make me eat my words for sure. Logan barely able to get back onto the stage, and maybe some overaggression, but not really. Center stage has returned for both players, and instantly Logan back onto the edge. They've been constantly just thrown away, and there's the grab, pushing them even further.
I mean, it just seems like you're kind of grasping at straws now. As the Ike, you just don't have that many options. Of course, with that slash, you're able to punch the Pikachu a little bit further off, but you meet them in the air, which gives an opportunity back. A little bit of charge forward, and now an up tilt. Being able to toss this Ike at 206 is a wild percentage once again. And you wait for the get up. It's all down to this piece, but remember, you're behind and behind even further now, as that's your stock gone. Now, CHS down to 2 total on this Ike.
Yeah, but it's not the end of the world, and that's showing it. Without even taking a single bit of percentage, we will see this Ike take it back, equalize it 2-2, 0 percentage on the board. And I mean, it's not the end of the world. However, we do know if FCHS does keep up this trajectory, they will be faltering and they will be going down, making this series 1-1. So you really don't want to have that happen if you are FCHS. You want to make sure this lead does continue in your favor, but I mean, at this point, you really can't count this Pikachu out for anything because they have been looking so strong, and we see it time and time again.
I think at this point, MCHS are leading with some of their strongest players at the forefront, and I really do appreciate that one. Quick down here, getting the electricity. Make sure to cover a lot of this dance from the Ike. Great up B though to catch, and it feels pretty dang good as well. Right now, if Logan is piloting, this Ike needs to get this extra advantage, and fortunately, you're kind of off stage at the current moment. Great recovery. You roll in and immediately get snapped up by the electricity again, and this Pikachu is being annoying, but good little jabs to come out, plus a forward air to cover so much extra ground. And yet again, though, every time that I get up, the Pikachu has such a resounding success.
Oh, Logan playing really aggressive here, not to be countered out, and they will just be back into the center here. Pikachu trying to make some kind of waves in the momentum, and they will be able to find the electrocution, but it won't connect. Instead, they will just be having to rely more on their melee attacks, and it will work out for them, and it won't be for long with FCHS taking the lead stock-wise 2-1. That's absolutely great for Logan here, and they keep on pressuring the damage onto this Pikachu, and this is a leverage you don't want to leave out in this commitment from the Pikachu here. They might need to push something more, but they will just be a little bit more careful and just keep on going down. Oh, but as of now, Logan, they just have so much percentage build up, and they still keep finding extra bits of damage. 53% already found, and they're going to lead even higher.
I think right now, this Ike is really turning things around. Earlier, it was looking very, very rough. Yes, you're at 164. Yes, it's a dangerous spot to be in, but at least you try and fight back. If you're able to hang on to 2, that is amazing, to say the least. Great down airs, really understanding that that Pikachu is going to jump, and you find the Bear Slash. And that is the Pikachu gone. It is only going to be a stock difference.
Certainly looking good. MCHS, they've barely been able to keep a lead here, and let's see whether or not at 5-6, this is kind of looking like deja vu for sure. FCHS, they've definitely looked good, but as of now, I don't know whether or not that's going to be enough. With the Ike finding only 1 stock down, they will be in a very favorable position. And the Pikachu was one of those players who you really could rely on, so now that they're out of the bounds, I'm starting to get a little bit scared.
Every time it looks like FCHS has, some sort of disadvantage, every time we see them being down, it always seems the last few players tend to step up. A slow starting squad, but a great finish. And then for MCHS, the Ridley opener has been amazing. I want to point that out. At one point, had a 3-4 stock advantage over their opponents, and it just kind of felt a little bit weak. It's up to the rest of the squad from Michigan to really be able to step in, improve their worth, and be able to kind of step in and take control here. It is going to be the Falco to come out here, and we'll wonder exactly how well this plays. Franklin currently on 5 stocks total, and for the side of Michigan, they are sitting with 6.
As of now, I mean, Falco, that's a big pickup. We saw them putting up a lot of pressure before, so maybe they can return in value as we saw. As we remember this Ike, they've been working magic. They've looked like a dominant force to be reckoned with, and as of now, to be able to just shut them down, shut them off the board, it would be extremely profitable. However, it seems as if that's exactly what might happen with 50% being found. However, the re-aggression will be there, and this Ike, they do not want to let this game go. They know that this is where they really got to make the comeback. However, as soon as that Joker gets pulled out, it really is going to be rough.
Right now, you're dancing on the edge here. Both Falco and the Ike have met before in almost this exact same situation. And we saw the Ike do a lot of work and once again catching this Falco a little bit off guard. And a huge part about this is there's no center platform to play for. You're playing literally on the edge and both sides are dangerous, meaning that if you get caught on that platform unawares, you will lose that stock so quickly. What a bounce on the 50-50 though, as Logan on the Ike, feeling real good, trying to chase off, tries to go for the spike, not gonna find it. Quick grab back. A nice little tether. I don't think you were able to get that jump out, so it's gonna be safe to play for. But the percentage is a little bit too high for it. Comfort can't follow up on that juggle. Another slash.
Oh, that is nuts. And oh my gosh, Ike is putting up so much of a just masterclass performance right now. 137. I wouldn't be surprised if they can win this next game here, because honestly, they still have another stock in the back if they do need it, and that's not even a necessity that really will matter. I mean, 73 is already found out without even taking even a single hit. Make it a 90. Finally a grab to try and put up some pressure. However, that pressure won't be lasting for too long with instant stage re-clears. And oh, MC Wolves, they've been looking good. However, this has not been their game whatsoever.
No, it's been a little bit all the way around, as that is a huge one for the Ike yet again. And right now, even the crowd is chanting. It's down to 1 stock apiece, but honestly, this is better than 3 stocks situation. And the Falco has to be kind of kicking themselves. They're going to try and turn up the heat a little bit faster. They're going to try and be moving at a quicker pace. Good grab into the forward air, into a chase, and yeah, you only get about 19. A single sword slash could be all they need, and there it is. Quick jump into the forward smash. Really making use of the fact that the Falco is anxious, that the Falco is currently very desperate for some sort of victory. Kind of leaving themselves open for the attack, but a great little toss into the up air. Going to be able to get some damage back.
Right now, though, this is the Ike who has been able to make everything happen. Even if it's the Pikachu who is at such a high advantage, it is just not going to matter. MC Wolves, they've looked good. This side of Michigan, they've been good, but it just won't matter. The city will falter. And at this point, 121 is all you're left with. After one remaining player dies, you're down to that final one, and Logan certainly does not seem like somebody who is going to really lose this game. After the momentum they've been carrying forward, this is gonna be really difficult to beat him on.
Well, that's gonna be it. The up air to finish, as that is the Ike to not only bring SCHS back, but to also bring them to the forefront, overtaking MCHS's lead from earlier, and now puts MCHS down to their last player.
This is certainly showing why FCHS came into the playoffs as that number 2 seed. Against the number 7, you would expect it to not be as close as this, but both teams have certainly been showing promise. Now the question becomes, will this be like what we saw before? Can that number 2 remaining player, that secondary right behind that number 1 anchor, will they be able to find a stock off on the anchor? Because honestly, if you can do that and just create the same reality that we saw in the last series, it could become really strong if you are MCHS.
I think right now for MCHS, you are so frustrated with how things are gone down, but you have a chance for a hero moment. As you call, the Yoshi will most likely be coming out here, and I mean, it's last position variability, but you can make this comeback. We saw the Joker do it before. We saw this ability before, and it's going to be the Kirby coming out here, because I am a little bit surprised. I think no, I did have it right. So yes, it is going to be that Kirby coming out here. Going to be trying to mix it up here as much as possible. Let's see if it can work.
We've seen a lot of lights from MCHS this set. First was the Pichu, then they mixed in the Pikachu, and finally, they're bringing out this Kirby, final remaining player. We've seen them come out before. The question is, can they pull out the same performance as earlier? And honestly, I hate to be a Debbie Downer here, but I do believe that this might not be able to get the same amount of value as what we saw.
I think that reason is just because, you know, we talked about that sword value that comes out, but I mean, if you're FCHS, you see that finish line, that momentum gain, that boost to your mental is huge. I think you can do so much work. Again, for the Ike, you're not really worried about losing. Yes, you want to take a stock, but you've done your job. You brought it back to pretty much net zero, and you're playing like it right now. You're playing without abandon, and you're about to take, what is it? I believe your 7th stock, and you do. Ike wants to end it here and now, wants to put SCHS into the semifinals.
Oh, good grab comes out, trying to combo, not able to connect. There's the shield, trying to make sure they get a little bit of space. Oh, up air, up tilt was trying to get something, but oh, not just yet. Logan potentially playing a little bit too aggressive, but they won't be seen just yet. Instead, they'll find a little bit of extra damage. At this point, though, it really could go anywhere. Shield breaks and a little bit extra, trying to clean up the room and gather a little bit of space, but no space to really be found. They're getting suffocated. However, they will find the cracks in the Ike's defenses, and that's certainly showing here with 3 digits already coming out.
I mean, that's 3 digits, but a little bit of a stock difference as well. You are behind, as that's a catch. It's a big floater, though, so it's not going to be the stock completely. I mean, this Ike is putting on such a glorious show for us, and I'm sad that I didn't give him the respect that you so rightly pointed out, Cherry. And that's a stock whiff on the edge of the stage. MCHS are down to their last stock, last player.
120%. But as we know, that percentage means nothing to this Ike player. They've constantly been proving me wrong, at least when it comes to how much they are capable of. And even at 142, I don't have my expectations at a 0. However, it should be MCHS to at bare minimum take this a little bit closer.
See if we can do it right now. A little bit of a chase. 169 and a catch. Good get back onto the stage. And right now, Ike is like, I don't even want to let you see the last player. I want to have the glory for myself. You've already done great, but that is it. And the up air to finish plasters Franklin Central High School into the AAA playoff semifinals.
A certainly good comeback from FCHS, despite being down at the start. They've come back, and it was all off the back of this Ike. Through pain and pain, they've made their game, they've made their marks, and that is going to be the side of FCHS bringing themselves out, as you said, into the semifinals, looking to face off against that number 3 seed. And honestly, that was a crazy quarterfinal matchup, so it really did just go all the way, with 4-0 and 2-0 being the final score lines. That was crazy through and through.
And I loved every single moment of it. Huge shout out to the side of Franklin Central High School. And yes, Michigan City put up a fight of their own, just a little bit weak towards the end. And whoever that Ridley player is, please give them some sort of congrats, some sort of respect, because they deserved it all in the world, almost having the same type of performance as the Ike earlier. And of course, if you are playing in any of these kind of moments or any of these leagues, LOS Portal, League OS Portal has a couple options, because if you want to keep playing into your college days, well, now there's a way to search through hundreds of collegiate esports programs to see where they are, what games they play, and even what majors they offer. Just go to portal.leagueos.gg to search, and IEN students can also sign up to manage their own prospect profiles, where all of their stats automatically update match over match. That are matches like today's match just now. There are scholarships out there for players, as well as shoutcasters, social media managers, and more, so make sure you add all of your talents to your profile. Verified college esports coaches are searching LOS Portal now for promising prospects and reaching out to the ones that they like. And LOS Portal is free for students. Don't miss your chance to get discovered. Visit portal.leagueos.gg today. Take your game to the next level. Cherry, it's been a fun time. Any final words that you got to give to the players that played their hearts out today?
I mean, keep playing, because if you keep playing, both these teams certainly looked like they could make it very far in future years. It was an unlucky matchup for sure for both teams, because they looked extremely evenly matched, but that Ike just came out the gates swinging time and time again, and there was nobody to stop him.
It was a phenomenal matchup. Once again, congratulations to Franklin Central High School for their moving on into the semifinals here with the Indiana Esports Network on broadcast. Of course, shout out to all of our amazing sponsors, Zotac, Landfast, and LOS Portal. And hopefully you enjoyed the cast just as well. I want to give a big shout out to our awesome production on the back end. We had the ever so amazing Connie and Taylor to run our show. My name is Orbital. With me has been Cherry, and we have been your production. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we'll see you all next time.